Coffee with Clover. I'm your host, Clover Sterling. Thank you for joining. My first guest is an upcoming YouTube sensation. She tells it as it is. Please help me welcome Tanika Bennett.
Hi.
Hi, Tenika.
How are you?
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me today.
So it's almost a year that you've been going vocal and going crazy on YouTube.
Yes.
About anything and everything that bothers you. Tell me about Unattached and Unbothered.
Well, it's not about everything and everything that bothers me. It's more about like dating. But Unattached and Unbothered is a YouTube channel, an online movement. It pretty much encourages people to live their best lives and love themselves unconditionally, fearlessly, and unapologetically. It's something that is a motto and it's something that is dear to my heart. And so I use my stories and my experiences to try to encourage people to live their best lives too.
What is it though that actually inspired you to start blogging?
Clover, we don't have enough time.
Oh wow.
No, I'm joking. Pretty much I went through a bad situation. I went through a bad breakup and it left me in a bad place. And then from that, I just realized that a lot of people that I was connecting with over that situation went through similar situations. So I decided to use that story and those experiences to help inspire other people.
Okay. In some of your blogs, you mention communication. Effective communication for you is not about texting back and forth. It's about talking face to face.
Yes.
How do you define communication?
I define effective communication, just like you said, by phone conversations. I hate texting. I don't feel like you can accurately convey your thoughts, feelings, or emotions through text. And there's so many things that get lost through a text. You don't really get to hear the tone of voice. You don't really get to hear what the person means. It's kind of lost. But if you're on a phone conversation, you can better hear, like, are they laughing? Are they smiling?
You can hear the sighs, the he, the ha.
Exactly.
Right?
You get to pick up on everything. So I find that to be more effective as well. Like, if you have something that you want to say that's lengthy, doing that through text, I kind of lose focus and the message is lost. Like, the medium is the message, right? So being able to have the conversation through phone matters a lot more to me. And I feel like it helps me to better build a relationship.
I remember once you actually said you lashed out at someone. You were texting back and forth. It wasn't happening.
Yes, that happens.
Tell something about that.
It's just, you start to have these conversations and things get carried away because, again, the person might not be taking it the way that the person sending it meant for it to be understood, right? So we just got a misunderstanding and started going back and forth, just angry texts.
Okay, define for me. You're not, or I'm not everybody's cup of tea. How does that work?
Yes. So by the statement, I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, it pretty much means you're not for everybody. Everybody is not going to like you, and that's fine. Everybody doesn't have to like you. I feel like, especially in this social media era, and with all these likes, and you need people to like you, everybody wants to be liked, but as long as you like you and you love yourself and you're confident in who you are, I feel like that speaks volumes. So that's just a reminder to me, especially when I was starting out and I was getting some negative feedback about the channel or about what I was talking about. It was just a reminder to me to let me know that, hey, I love myself, I'm confident in who I am. If they don't like it, it's just not for them.
I see, because you want to put out what you're feeling, what you're thinking, and on top of that, you cut your hair, and everyone's curious. So why did you cut your hair?
I cut my hair. I cut my hair actually 2 years ago today. I cut my hair, and that was just something I'd been toying with for a while. I went through different phases with my hair. I had weaves, I had perms, I had natural, and it just got to a point where I just didn't want hair anymore. And I woke up one morning, and I remember telling my dad, I said, I think I'm going to shave my hair this morning. And I'm like, can I get your clippers? And he's like, are you crazy? You're not getting my clippers. Go to a barber. So I just did it. It was just something I wanted to do, and I went with it.
Another interesting thing you blogged about, spring cleaning. You know, everyone's thinking like, it's spring now, right? So you're going to be doing your house, taking stuff out of your closet. But for you, spring cleaning is different.
It's a little deeper than that, yes.
Yeah. How deep?
Spring cleaning, by that spring cleaning challenge, what I was trying to evoke is getting rid of baggage. Throughout life, we hoard a bit. We kind of develop a lot of emotional baggage and a lot of mental baggage, and we don't really see what damage that does to us. By the spring cleaning challenge, it's supposed to encourage people to let things go, get it off their chest, stop having that weight on them so that they can be free and live their best lives, and they can be free to move on from certain situations. It's decluttering, but emotionally and internally.
So decluttering anytime at your pace.
At your pace,
Okay.
exactly. And seeking the help if you need to. A lot of people like I go to therapy for different issues, and I find that in order to do that, like that's helped me to get rid of a lot of the baggage I have. A lot of people are shy to say that they need help or to reach out to even friends or family. That's kind of encouraging them to do that too, so that they can let go of that baggage.
Are there any success stories from you blogging? Has anyone reached out to you where
Oh
you
my
have
God.
inspired them?
Yes, a lot. I had the testimonials up on my Instagram page as well, but a lot of women, especially coming out of long-term relationships, because that was also a motivating factor for why I started Unattached and Unbothered, had let me know initially it was so daunting. Like for me, I came out of a 9-year relationship and then got into a rebound situation. So for them, they were like, this has been so inspiring because I didn't think I could do it alone. And that's very much like me. I didn't think I could ever do it alone. And being able to has let a lot of other people know that they can too.
Oh, so what does your parents think about, because you go vocal about some things we can't even air.
I talk about a lot of things, a lot of things that single women go through. My mother and father are really supportive. I was a little hesitant in telling them at first because a lot of the content can sometimes veer off on the other spectrum, or on the other side of the spectrum. But they're really encouraging. My mother watches, my father watches from time to time. I give them heads up when certain things are a little too, so that they know not to watch. Because I'm still their daughter. I'm my parents' only child, so I don't want to taint their view of me, but they accept me flaws and all.
That's very nice. So what's the next step with Unattached and Unbothered?
I want to grow it. It's been almost a year. I am going to start doing events with it because, again, I have a lot of women reaching out to me, especially. Like, that's my main audience. And so I want to do events so that we can meet up and we can hash out some of these topics and really connect on common ground.
So a speaker here and a speaker there, that's what you...
Yeah, so like different platforms or panel discussions, yeah.
Is there anything that you haven't touched? What would you like to say to other women out there who hasn't even seen your channel, but you would love to leave a word of encouragement?
For sure. I would let other women know that you can love yourself and don't feel guilty about loving yourself and wanting to be alone or needing to be alone. I feel like the narrative that we're often taught as women or as young girls growing up is get older, get married, have kids. And that's fine. That's perfect for a lot of people. But if that doesn't necessarily happen by a certain point, don't beat yourself up about it. You're still perfect in all your glory and love yourself.
Are you looking forward to getting married? And
Clover, I'm not sure. I hope one day that's the case. I would love to give my parents grandkids. The dating landscape right now is a little sticky, especially with the online dating and just access. Everybody has access to so many people and so many different things. I'm optimistic though. Okay. Yeah.
But with you being so vocal and some stuff are out there, don't you think the men are going to be scared of approaching you?
Then they're not the right man for me.
Okay, okay. And just before we go, as Tanika would say, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend so that we can be friends. Cheers to coffee.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching. We'll be right back. Writing from a tender age. He followed his path and made his dream come true. Please help me welcome author Joseph Monachino. I said that right, okay?
You said it perfectly, yes.
Okay. Thanks for coming on, Joseph.
You're very welcome.
So you finally become an author after much reading and writing from it. What age did you start writing?
I was about 17 years of age, and I started small by submitting letters to the editor of, let's say, one major newspaper in Toronto. I know there's about 3 or 4, but one major newspaper in Toronto, and that's how I started. And it was my apprenticeship into writing.
So how long did you write with them for?
Letters to the editor are submitted voluntarily, so I've been doing them over several years. Sometimes they're political commentary, sometimes entertainment commentary, but it's been done over several years, as a matter of fact.
Did you ever get a feedback from the media outlet?
Oh yeah, like my letters have been published, and this particular newspaper has rebuttals, so they've put rebuttals to my letters. So I'm quite flattered that they I'm quite flattered actually that they actually published them in the first place.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so during growing up, while you're writing, while you're playing music, do you play an instrument?
I don't play an instrument, but I'm showing my age here. Over 20 years ago, I entered a karaoke contest to bring out my passion for singing and music, where I actually was a consolation prize winner in the karaoke contest. So
that's good.
Yes, and it was through no lessons or anything. It was through rote, listening to classic rock artists like the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, and the Rolling Stones, who are my 3 favorite bands of all time, as a matter of fact.
Was it just at one time, or did you continue doing karaoke?
Oh no, I did karaoke for about 3.5 years. Then I met my wife, got married, and kind of walked away from that.
Life happens,
Life
right?
happens,
okay.
yes.
Then comes your book. At what point did you decide that you wanted to be an author?
It was, to be honest, it was like after writing Letters to the Editor, I wanted kind of to expand on my writing. And I had the idea for the book, The Transporting Device, where I was watching TV one day. It was in the middle of winter. And there was a commercial to take a vacation to Cuba. And I said to myself, my goodness, I wish I could be transported to that location in this instant at this time. So from there, I had a eureka moment where I said, wow, I can probably write a book about this.
And then your thoughts started flowing.
That's right.
So you put pen to paper,
Yes.
and there came a book after.
That's right.
What is it? I read through, and your character, Frank, he has a fascination with this transforming device. What is it?
The fascination is both, one, it's emotional, because his wife passed away when they shortly after they got married. So it was for emotional reasons that he invented the device to dedicate it to his wife, so for comforting reasons. The other one is the functional aspect, where he can transport himself from his current location to any destination in the world. So that's something that really fascinates him about the device.
Well, that's an idea that can be used now, especially now talking about global warming.
Exactly.
Oh, do you have plans of proposing it to our government?
I certainly hope so. Bridget 2 expands on it, where Bridget 2 is about the transporting device being reinvented into a machine that can transport plane loads of people. So that way, planes don't have to fly in the air and emit greenhouse gas emissions. So that's where why I wrote the second book, as a matter of fact, because
yes,
it
I was
shows
just going to say that.
progression.
Not only did you do the first book, but you went on to doing a second one. Why a
Yes.
second one?
The second one is right there, yes. To show progress. As in life, people and products should progress. So that's what it did. It progressed from a device to a machine.
Okay, so the first one is about the device. So it's actually made here.
Yeah, the part 2 is the device being progressively made into a machine. It goes from a device to a machine.
So both books have to go together, right? You cannot buy one without the other.
Yeah, one is a natural progression of the other, so I would recommend buying both.
Okay. What else can you tell us about the transporting device?
It satisfies people's fantasy about seeing loved ones. For instance, I got a brother who lives in another part of the world. And a lot of times when I'm sitting in my living room and I know he's maybe watching TV in his living room, it's very comforting and very exciting thinking about, like, oh, I wish I could transport myself in an instant to his living room on the other side of the world. So
especially in winter time, we could do a lot of transporting, right?
That's right, and he lives in a warm weather climate, so so that's appealing too. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So the transporting device, part 1 and part 2, is available on Amazon.com and Amazon.ca. It's really a great read. I did the first one, went to the second one, and I had to go back to the first one. It was really interesting. But all I was thinking, why can't you just let it happen in real life? Just introduce it to our government, and We have something going.
Well, a good start is with this show. If it gets wide exposure,
Right.
someone in government might have a eureka moment saying, hey, let's talk to Joe about inventing this. Making
it opened up some avenues. It's like,
Yes.
wow, you know, it's vast. We'll take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more. With Clover, another exciting episode. My next guests are millennials. They are newsmakers and rising stars, members of the Vinyl Ambush Band. Welcome, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Glad to be here.
Okay. So you guys started your band a few years back, and the name came up just by some random thought. Can you tell me about that one?
Yeah, so originally, I'm not sure, we were going through names, trying to pick which one would sound best, obviously, because once you pick one, you have to stick with it and you have to go by that name, right? So I believe it came up when I went shopping with my family back maybe a couple of years ago. It was, I think it was in a Hudson Bay company. And obviously when you go shopping with your parents, you have to pay your dues. You have to go to the makeup stores, maybe the ones you don't want to go to as a kid. But just being there, I passed through I think it was a nail polish or a makeup section, and then there was this one, I was just looking at the whole thing, and there's this one color of red that was called Vinyl Ambush, and I just saw it, and I was like, you know, it doesn't fit in with the rest of the colors. It's kind of a really cool name.
So you're just browsing with your mom and boom.
Yeah, basically.
And then you thought this could be the name of the band.
The name stuck with me, and then when it came up to think of a name for a band, you know, it just it gave a nice ring to it. It had a nice, gave a nice sound. It was a nice name.
So Belle, what did you think when you hear of the name?
I thought it was pretty cool. Right away, we were in another band before, and that was one of the suggestions, and I was like, that's the one. But like, it wasn't chosen then, but now we've got it. And like, I don't know.
So you do the lead singing. What do you sing? Soprano?
Oh, I'm an alto,
You're
so
an
like
alto.
a little bit lower, typically.
Okay. How many members are there?
There's 4 of us.
Only 4? Okay. So you guys are a rising star, as I said, and you have a new CD?
Right now, everything's in the process of being mixed and mastered. We finished recording, so that's pretty cool. But yeah.
Well, you got a label. You guys got a label.
Yeah.
We just got signed by a really cool company based out of Detroit called RL Records. They're super cool guys. So yeah, we're really excited. Hopefully we get to start releasing soon once everything's like, you know, mastered and stuff.
Right? How soon? The rest of this year? You think
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. But something much more exciting. You guys made the news. That's an exciting story. Was it in the summertime, in the wintertime?
It was in the summertime. It was like an outdoor event that we pulled for the drummer's dad's 50th birthday. We pulled like a surprise party for him. So he was gone, and then everybody went to the house, set up the drums, amps, and everything. And when he came back, we started playing, and it was having a really good time. And then, unfortunately, this is like a really small neighborhood, and we are a really loud band. So we did upset a couple of the neighbors, the one behind us. And then they came out and told us to quiet down. And we sort of did, sort of didn't. And then eventually it does rise up because you're playing, you're in the moment, you're having fun, you enjoy playing music. So the volume did get up high again, and then the police came and they told us to quiet down, and then we kept playing, and then a little bit later, maybe an hour or two later, they came back, but one of them, Officer Joe Clark, was he?
Yeah, Joe Clark.
Yeah, he came and he sat in and watched us, and then he asked if he was gonna play the drums because he's the drummer.
Yeah, he was
so
kind of
then
just like looking at the drums, and like he's like, hey, yeah, can I sit in? We're like, yeah, for sure. And
So he actually played?
Yeah, he played.
Yeah,
So the
he
volume
played.
was still high?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So what did the neighbors think at that time?
They were probably losing
Yeah,
their
probably
minds.
losing minds.
So you guys didn't get charged, right? It was more fun.
No, of
then.
course,
No,
it was
no.
fun. And there was the video that surfaced, and he actually kind of gave us a little bit of like wisdom and stuff about it at the end.
okay.
He was a really cool guy.
So you
overall.
turned it down after the party ended, or you continued?
I think he came back right when we were done. He said, hey, can I, sit in and play a song with you guys? Say, yeah, sure, of course.
And because of that, you got some attention. You made the news. You made the evening news. How was that among your peers at school? They thought you were really cool, right?
I had people coming up to me at school like, "Oh, I saw you on the news this morning." Like getting like DMs on like Instagram and stuff. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about that." Like,
But at
really
that time,
cool.
the band was, you had more people in the band.
I was an older, yeah, I was
It was an
well.
older rendition of Final
Okay, so like today, you guys should be in school, but you took time off to be here. So,
Yeah, are you still in high school? You're done,
No,
right?
I'm done.
Yeah. I'm in grade 11, so yeah.
okay, how do you balance school and having to be in the band?
I mean, I practice the bass every day. That probably takes maybe an hour and a half to go through all the songs, all the things I need to do, and then school when there's a project, test, or homework, anything like that. I try to get as much of it as I can done. Obviously, not every day I can get all of it done, and I get, shows, and I get yelled at by my teachers, but it's fine. It's all good.
But how does your teachers respond to you, knowing that you guys you're in a band?
A couple of
Yeah.
them came up to me, and they asked is this whole thing true? Because I think one of them caught wind in the office, and then it's a small school, so everybody sort of, I guess the word went around, and I got a couple teachers just come up to me and say it's really cool that you got signed. Is this true and all that stuff? So yeah, it's been a long road. We've been playing for a while, and then we got a opportunity from a record company out of Detroit, and they gave us a deal, and we signed it. And and the some students are in my school. Yeah, they gave.
Anyone want to come on board? Anyone want to join the band from school? Or
I don't think so.
I don't know.
No.
No?
It would be really cool if you guys would play for the school, though.
Oh, that would actually.
Yeah, that would
pretty
be
cool.
fun. Before you graduate,
Yeah, I
have
don't
a
know.
band
Maybe
then.
I'd have to talk to.
Like,
A whole lot of
principal,
people
can
do
we
that.
play? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
are there any plans for
Be kinda-
tours right now?
I would love to go on a tour at some
That
point.
would be cool, but not right now, because our
We don't have
drummer is out in
anything.
Europe now. So
Oh,
as of
okay.
right now, we're kind of
Vacation.
just vacation. So
Oh, okay. So shouldn't you probably have a backup? If one's away or if one's sick, you can keep going until that one's
It's not the
back.
same without
Oh.
the original members,
Yeah,
you know?
okay. So the original members just keep it going.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Where do you intend to take this, like after school? Is it going to be a hobby or going to make it your career path?
well, I guess technically a part of our job now that we
Yeah,
have a
now that
record
we're
label.
signed.
It keeps
so
you busy full time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah.
So who does the writing for the songs?
It's kind of between me, you, and your dad, right? I'll get instrumentals from them. They'll kind of put together like a really cool bit of composition, I guess, and then I give them some lyrics and some melodies, and they kind of mix and match, and we kind of go back and forth, and then we get a finished product, and then we show it to the band, and everybody,
Everybody sort of
yeah,
does their own thing. Usually
Yeah.
Jack and Pedro take it away and with their stuff
have their
like that.
own creative ideas and whatnot. Yeah.
And in
Okay.
practice, it becomes
Something
like it's something
completely
else, something special.
Oh, very good. Seems like you guys are going very well. I'm happy for you. I've seen the promotion on social media. Very good. When we return, Vinyl Ambush will be performing. We'll be right back.
You gotta find the flame before they figure it out. You gotta put up a fight before they cut you out.
Hope you enjoyed the band. That's it for today's show. Join us again for another exciting episode with coffee and conversation. Thanks for watching.